Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, viewers from wherever you're watching us from. It's Wima Sports.
I'm Michael Oluoch.
And your host, co-host Germaine Odhiambo. What a year has it been in the sports industry? Today we're just going to do a roundup of how the sports has been and how things have been in the sports industry for the last 1 year, as we bid you farewell for this year as you go for Christmas holidays.
True. It has been a very interesting year with a lot of ups and downs for many teams, many clubs, and most of the federations have been suffering. But it's good to know how the year has been faring for all the sports.
Yeah, and before we jump right into it, we are at Osoita Lodge, where customers become,
I'm telling you, this is a place.
family.
Exactly, I was going to say that. This is a place for family. This is a Christmas season, and you need to bring your family here. If you're not here with your family, you're missing out.
Yeah, and just to let you know about some of the amazing offers that are there for you this Christmas. There's the Christmas buffet for adults at 1,500 shillings, for kids below 10 years at 800 shillings. And we shall let you know more about this on our description, the description box down there, so that you can get to see what they have and some of the offers. And as you want to unwind, massage, sauna is open always, and full body massage is available for you as well.
Not to forget that we have good accommodation for you and your family. You can bring your family for a very nice Christmas holiday at this very beautiful place.
Definitely. I know Corona has hit us hard this year and the past 1 year, and probably many people won't be traveling home, but this is the place to be. If you won't be traveling home, make plans, book, and check on their social media sites at Osoita Lodge Official in Instagram, and we shall share with you as well their emails and their contacts so that you can make your
Christmas plans.
Definitely. They also have trips for you if you want to go for any trips, any safaris. They have all that planned for you, so don't miss out.
True. What's up for us today in the sporting world?
Today, the sports industry, amongst all other industries, have been hit hard by Corona.
True.
And today we shall just be analyzing and seeing what's been there, the best moments, the worst moments for 2021. And just to kick us off, charity begins at home. So I'll start with home. I think most of teams were hardly hit by COVID.
True.
And despite all that, the Ministry of Sports, salute to Ambassador Amina Mohammed. She was able to bring some international events, sports events in the country that helped elevate the level of sports and also sports tourism in the country.
True.
During the 2021 season. Just to mention, one of the best ever was the WRC 2021 Safari Rally, which we saw really brilliant drivers.
True, and it brought in a lot of competition from both local and international, and it was very nice. If you missed it, you missed a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely. And if you missed it, don't miss out next year, because we are here for 5 years. WRC Safari Rally is with us, so keep on checking what's happening in that world. Not to forget, we had the World Athletics Under 20 2021 that was hosted in Kasarani Stadium.
Yeah, it had a lot of very young athletes doing well. They performed well. I was impressed.
Definitely, Kenya topped the standings.
True.
Followed by Finland, then Nigeria. Definitely our young athletes did well, and indeed the future is bright. Remember, these athletes were training themselves during the pandemic, indoor training, self-training, and I was really impressed to see our athletes come out and dominate despite all the regulations that come with COVID-19 and during you guys know how 2020 was.
And also to add on that, I think it created an opportunity for us to see upfront how our athletes are performing, other than viewing them over the social media and television. We had an opportunity of seeing them run, compete, and lift our flag high.
Definitely, definitely. And what else that we witnessed by seeing our very best athletes was the Kip Keino Classic 2021.
True.
And you guys know the highlights.
Oh, he made history, I'm telling you. He made us proud,
Ferdinand Omanyala with 9.77, man. I was there, I was in the stadium. It was thrilling excitement. Everyone was on their feet.
True.
The president was on his feet, and it was all crazy. And we salute you, Ferdinand. We're looking forward to interview you next year.
And you've never had a 100-meter athlete in Kenya, but right now we have someone who the future is so bright for him.
Definitely, definitely. And in Kenya, you know how we do. We always setting up the standards high.
True.
We are always coming out and defying the odds that we are in and how we train. But we still come out and be the very best in all that we do. Well, we are looking forward to Ferdinand next season. I'm sure it's going to hit a 9.6. I can bet on it.
I see him going toe-to-toe with Bolt very soon, but time will tell.
Time will definitely tell. I'll close this up by Safari 7's 2021. It was a bit on and off. There's a point they were like, now we want to be able to do it, but we managed to do it, and we shall discuss some of this economic ripple effect that clubs had and federations had. But Safari 7's was here, and guess what?
Actually, as much as they had a lot of hiccups here and there, but from my point of view, they did us proud because most of them were not even training. They're at home, isolated, and if you keep in mind, this is a team sport. That means that they have to know how they're moving as a team. They have to know how they're coordinating themselves.
Yes, and the resilience, we saw the resilience in the Shujaa team, and they were able to be crowned the 2021 Safari 7's champions after beating Germany 12-7.
True.
Yeah.
True. It's a milestone for us. So I think next year we'll do well. As long as everything remains constant, they have an opportunity of training. We'll do well.
Definitely, definitely. If you will take us up to your international roundup, coach.
Okay. I think I'll start by Paralympic. It was a very important show for the Paralympic guys because they had a record of a hit for the first time. 4.25 billion viewers. They're interested and they're watching it, something that has never happened. And then even before I go there were a lot of rumors going around that maybe it will not happen because of COVID and all that restriction, but it happened. And then if you look at the standings, China topped with 96 gold, 60 silvers and 51 bronze, followed by Great Britain with 41 gold, 38 silver and 45 bronze. And I think that Kenya did us also proud. They went and represented, and despite the hiccups that were here from last year till the time they were leaving, it was a good show.
Definitely, definitely. It was a great show, and just to mention some of the things that we saw, and Coach Mike just mentioned that the number of viewers for the Paralympics.
True.
Do you know that Safari Rally 2020 was the highest watched sports event in the whole world?
Imagine. We're making history.
We're making history, people. We're making history. This is Kenya, man.
True.
This is Africa.
True.
Yes.
And even from Paralympic, let's go to Olympic. Olympic again was another event that had a lot of issues here and there. At one point, Tokyo were in a very big dilemma whether they could host or not, but they did, and I think it was successful. It went so well. The country that took position 1 is the United States of America. They had 39 gold, 41 silver, and 33 bronze. They were followed by China with the 38 gold, 32 silver, and 18 bronze. China doing well in this international scenario. Paralympic, they're number 1. Olympic, they're number 2. I don't know the trick they have, but I know that we are catching up. As a country, Kenya, we're catching up. We are almost there. Give it time.
Yeah. And when you talk about Olympics, when you talk about Paralympics, the only team that won my heart was the Fiji team. We are talking about COVID-19 and the economic ripple effects in the sports industry. Fiji team was able to travel, but they never traveled comfortably. They traveled in a cargo plane full of fish. This is the Fiji Sevens team, and guess what? They ended up lifting the cup, and they were the champions of Olympic Sevens. Round of applause for them.
That was a good show.
Yeah. So this shows you how sports is. Despite the tough times, despite the challenging times, it's always resilience for athletes. It's always resilience in the sporting world. Yeah.
It's called not giving up. You fight until you get what you want.
Yes.
And talking about Olympic, at one point we're looking at the U.S. basketball team, and it was like they're not going to make it after losing to Nigeria in the friendly, and then losing the opening match. Was it the opening match?
Can't remember.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then they came up and they turned the tables around and took both the men and the ladies team. I think there's something that they're doing that we need to find out, and also try to copy one or two things from them in Kenya, because that team is shooting well. And talking about shooting, I don't know if you've heard, Steve Curry right now is leading the pack.
Definitely.
I'm telling you, that guy.
We at Wima, actually, we are very, very honored, and people of this generation, to be able to witness the greatest shooter of all time. Steph Curry just beat Ray Allen yesterday by having 2,974 shots for regular season.
True.
And Ray Allen at 2,973. And he did this with about 500 games less.
True.
I think 511 games lesser than Ray Allen. So you can imagine what record Steph Curry is going to make by the time he retires. It's just mind-blowing.
And mind you, the season is still on. And right now, I think, if I'm not wrong, it's like 80%. He doesn't miss. That guy doesn't miss. It's like when he opens up his eyes, he's shooting. When he closes his eyes, he's shooting. That guy is doing well.
Definitely. And viewers, that shows you that you can do anything that you want to do if you put in the work, you put in the consistency, and you believe in what you do. So we also encourage you to pursue whatever you want to in the sports world, and you can do it.
True.
Yeah.
True.
On to the worst.
Oh, I think my worst scenario is the accident that Wood had. He was traveling at a speed of twice the normal limit, and he had an accident in Los Angeles. But the good thing that it was not fatal. The only damage that he had was with his car. So I think that is the worst case scenario for me. My best case scenario is I think it moved me when there's a transfer window, and I think one of the best players we have, football players we have in the world, was moving from Barcelona. He shed tears and was like, oh, he was passionate about Barcelona. Yes. What do you think about that moment? I think that for me, it was a passionate moment that I don't know.
Yeah, I think before I talk about Barcelona, one of my worst scenarios this year in the sporting world was when Tajveer Rai got an accident during the Safari Rally 2021, and his car rolled several times. He had a nasty injury, but he's recuperating well, and we just hope he gets back. He's a great guy, he's a humble guy, he's a great competitor and inspires the young people and the people behind him. And it was really tough seeing him go down. But I know he'll be back. We're trusting to see him back compete. If not, whichever thing he decides to do, we'll support him as his fans. And on to Messi's transfer was huge.
True.
Was huge for Atletico, and it was really, really crazy for them. And Barcelona was a loss. It was a loss for Barcelona, but this came also after the economic effect that COVID had to the club, and they lost a couple of money and they couldn't just be able to pay Messi's salary. So Messi had to transfer. But in a week's time, you saw, I can't remember the figures, but it was billions of sales, jersey sales for Lionel Messi and Atletico. Yeah.
Not to mention that sports is the most lucrative business. I mean, it's no longer
just
a
say
sport.
Atletico. It's PSG.
Yeah. Right now,
Just say PSG.
memories. This guy is growing older than me. He's growing older than me. I keep on telling him. And also, I just remembered another very interesting, it was a sad scenario for him, but it was very entertaining. He gave his best.
Yeah.
In tennis world, Novak was going for a record 4 straight wins, grand wins, but then he lost in the final one in the US Open, going down 4-6, 4-6, and 4-6. But I watched it. It was a very entertaining game. I'm this kind of a guy who I rarely watch tennis, but it just caught my attention, and that game was tough. You're going for a grand victory, and then there's this guy who is denying you every step of the way. And that's what sportsman is all about. You win some, you lose some. What do you think?
Lawn tennis is always, to me, one of the most toughest sports, and just seeing what Novak did and the endurance he had in the game, because this game is always until the last person standing.
True.
You guys can go for hours and hours and hours playing it, but
the whole day.
It was really impressive to see what he did.
True.
Yeah. On to the next coach.
Not to mention that Lewis, for the first time, a newcomer came into the mix and won Formula One, Max, and then Lewis took runners-up. I was a little bit surprised because Lewis Hamilton has always been the guy. Formula One is the guy to take it. Out of the blue, a newcomer comes, takes it for the first time. It was interesting. I think it challenges Lewis. I know next year he'll come back with a different mindset. Maybe for him, he was like, I'm going to take it, and then this guy comes out of the blue. So next year, I'm waiting to see how the two of them are going to go head to head. It will be so interesting.
Yeah, definitely. Lewis being a humble man, I know he'll want the appeals to be dropped, because Mercedes made appeals, two appeals. They filed appeals for some technicality issues that were raised towards the last lap, but we'll see how it goes. But I know Lewis is a really, really humble guy, and I liked how he handled the issue. I liked how he handled the press interviews when he was questioned about all that, and we'll see how he comes back, because he's not yet done.
yeah, he's still young. He's still strong. Done. True.
And Lewis always reminds me of Steph Curry. I mean, guys were already hating on GSW, like, they're done, they won't bounce back. But they are back.
I respect GSW. I know where he's heading to, but I respect GSW. I'm a Lakers guy. So as much as this time we have a lot of hiccups here and there, but I think top 2, we are there. We're good. But the season is still young. We still have a long way to go. We'll see how it goes.
Yep.
Yes.
And definitely, people, we can't talk about the best moments internationally if we don't talk about the 2021 Ballon d'Or.
True.
Where we saw Messi being crowned again, and he got his 7th golden ball. We are talking about his 7th golden ball.
True.
And after Lewandowski wasn't able to clinch this time, but definitely he deserves it, man. Lewa has been great the past 2 seasons, the other season, this season, and I know he'll get there. I know he'll get there. What do you think about the Ballon d'Or?
I think it brought out the resilience in the sporting world, because even despite the fact that COVID interfered with the way most athletes were handling themselves, the way most athletes were training, the way most athletes were viewing the sporting world since COVID hit the world, but you find that there's still competition.
Yep.
The sporting industry was still very highly competitive and interesting, to the extent that if you asked whether these guys are having the same effect as the other guys, you couldn't tell the difference. It was very competitive, and they were very passionate about what they were doing.
Definitely. And speaking of competition, we saw the level of competition in the NCAA men's basketball tournament and championship, where resiliently the Baylor Bears were able to thump their feet into the finals as underdogs.
True.
And we saw them dominate. We saw them dominate all through. We saw them dominate, and they beat the one and only Gonzaga. Gonzaga, who were unbeaten whole season, people.
You know, that is the greatest nightmare for all coaches. You win every single game and then you come and lose in the final. It is painful. But again, if you look at it, it's all about the spirit of competition. You never know. You find that maybe the other team, they studied you so well, and then you never made adjustment. By the time you're meeting them, they throw a bombshell. But that game was interesting, because everybody assumed that they're going to take they're going to take the league, the trophy, the big trophy.
Yeah.
But tables turn. That is all about. That is what sport is all about.
Yeah.
You never know.
Definitely.
Yes.
And speaking of tables turning, and Tom Brady was able to get into a new team. This is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and as well, the GOATs have been really dominating competition in their teams, various teams this year. 2021 was all about GOATs redefining themselves, and we saw Tom Brady be able to win his 7th Super Bowl this year with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He has 7 rings, man.
The question is, next year, will we see changes? Will we see new draft? Will he be able to win it again? That's the question.
Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see, because after, when he was getting to Buccaneers, no one thought he would win it. And personally, I never saw it. I was shocked for him to be there. In fact, I was even supporting the other team in the Super Bowl finals. But it's Tom Brady.
True.
And he did his thing. Definitely. Congratulations to him.
True.
From you, anything else?
Right now, I would like to jump into the ripple effect of COVID and sports for the past 1 year. How it has hit us. And I think we should start local. Charity begins at home.
Definitely.
Yes, if you look at the local leagues, practically all federations, all teams, including players, have suffered a very big setback when it comes to their sporting career. From basketball to football to volleyball, it's no longer the same. Some teams have even completely been destroyed. They can no longer revive their teams. Some players have opted out of sports completely because they're trying to figure out how they're going to be able to survive. And it has taken a real toll, especially to most careers in sports.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a challenging times, and I'm just trying to think, like, just to mention maybe basketball. We've had almost half of the teams in the Division 1 league pull out.
True.
We've had
even in the Premier League.
Premier League ladies team, we've had teams not being able to pay the league fees on time across the sports in Africa. We've had the economic ripple effects of fans not being able to show up, and this has had ripple effects into into clubs like Real Madrid, Barcelona, just to mention but a few. And I'm just trying to imagine how tough it will be. Let's say even for the Basketball Federation League in Kenya, for next season, will they be able to accept these teams back, or will they stand by the rules and just say you guys have to start from?
You've opened a very interesting discussion because I think from my point of view, every federation has a constitution. What does the constitution say? You have to follow the constitution. If you don't follow the constitution, how will you decide that this team is being relegated, this team is remaining intact? And basketball being a highly competitive game, at the end of every season, the team from the lower division has to go up, creating space for the other team from the lower division. And on top of that, the team from the higher division, there has to be a number of teams going down. And if you take an example of basketball, for example, they normally the constitution says that 2 teams drop, 2 teams go up.
Yeah.
The last 2. Now the question is, when you have a situation whereby teams didn't participate, how do you decide which team do you drop? Let me give you an example. Assuming that your league has 15 players in the Premier League, 15 players in Division 1, 15 players in, let's say, Division 2. And then Division 1, 5 teams, not players, teams. 5 teams didn't compete. You cannot tell me that you're going to drop 2 teams out of the 5 and you're leaving 3. How will you justify? It becomes a very tricky scenario. So if you follow the law of your constitution, then it guides you. But this does not affect basketball only as much as we're talking about basketball. It affects also football, the teams in the FKF league that pulled out. If you go to volleyball, the same thing applies. If you go to, you name it. Now there's a part whereby you're being asked, what does your constitution say? If you don't have a constitution, then you have a problem. I was having this discussion with a friend of mine, and I told him, this guy is in football. So I was telling him, if your federation doesn't have a constitution that guides you, and if you ask me, this is the way I'll go. I'll take the teams that didn't compete. I'll play a round robin. The last 2 teams, then definitely goes down. That is a fair way of looking at it.
That's indeed a fair way.
A sport is all about being fair. But if you have a constitution, what does the constitution say?
Definitely.
But it's a tricky thing.
It's a tricky thing, and I think your idea is viable, Coach.
True.
I think before the season begins on most of these leagues next year, locally, from our well-able co-host, listen to him, and probably you need to pay him for that.
Yeah. By the way, I'll my M-Pesa line. Okay.
Let's create a pre-league tournament for those teams and get to figure out how they perform on that tournament and see which team goes down and which team remains.
But you know, as much as we're talking about this, there's something that we cannot end by not talking about. National team. Basketball, I think this year our basketball team, national team, has done us proud.
Yep.
Especially the men's team. They've been out of the national arena or the African arena for a very long time, more than 26 years.
Yeah, they're about.
And right now, they've qualified for the World Cup qualifiers. The other day, they finished at position 8.
Yes.
That's a very big plus. I think they deserve a clap. They deserve a clap. Even the ladies team did us proud. They did well, although they missed the World Cup qualifier by an inch because they were number 9. But still, the sky is the limit for them.
Definitely, people. And we'll end this here. Let's continue the conversations on our comment section. Let's also continue the conversations on our social media sites. You know what it is. It's about Christmas holiday and it's about the festive seasons. Don't forget to check on the festive on the description box so that we let you know of the great offers that are here for you to take on at Osoita Lodge.
This is a place to be. This is a place to bring your family. A very beautiful place you'll enjoy, your kids will enjoy, your wife will enjoy, and you yourself, you'll have memories that will last your lifetime.
Yes, and as we do that as well, we want to wish you from Wima Sports all the best this season. Have a great festive season, and we'll see you next year.
Merry Christmas from me, Michael Oluoch.
Merry Christmas from me, Germaine Odhiambo, as always. And behind the mic, we have one person that has been making all this possible.
True.
We salute Wilson Raburu at the behind the camera. Sorry, here's the mic. You're behind the mic.
And mind you, he's a national fan.
Yeah, they're doing great. They're doing great.
At last.
Started.
Thank you.
He started the season with lots of stress. These days, this guy can watch a game.
He's growing fat.
he's growing fat and light. Check out the new song. This is Taliban, and this is, we'll share the link. YouTube channel is Furthermore, and this is a great hit. Check them out. They've been able to do a couple of songs this year. Check them out. And at his stage name, Tryon is his stage name. Check him out also on Instagram, and also be in tune in our Instagram and social media sites, as we'll be continuing the conversation on sports and development of sports in the nation and outside the nation, in Africa and the entire world.
And don't forget, you can comment, like, and
subscribe.
Thank you.
Definitely. And we won't end this by letting you people know it's campaign time in Kenya. We are coming into an electioneering period, people. Love each other. Tupendane majama.
Stay safe.
Let's be peaceful, campaign honorably, listen to each and every candidate you want to listen to, but don't boo, don't demonstrate, don't spoil stuff that you don't need to spoil, because you know what, these people are up there doing their thing. But ni mimi hapa, kocha atanisaidia chumvi hapa tu.
Yeah.
Sasa nikianza kumpiga sasa hii chumvi nitapata kweli next year. Unajua
na hata leo naenda sapa kwake.
Januari inakuja, Januari. Yeah. Raila atakusaidia Maruto, ni jirani wako hapa. Definitely. Thank you guys. Was nice having you. Until next time, it's Wima Sports.
Enjoy your Christmas festive.
Like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time.